we want to do is start laying out the parts for the top and the apron. This piece here, this wide piece, will become the top. Now this board is a little wider than 6 inches. It's about 6.5 inches wide. And we're looking to do a tabletop that is 2 feet roughly square. And then I can cut right around that notch. Perfect. It's nice to see that something has kind of gone my way. So we'll go 24 to here. Okay. So I will consider that a board. That a board. That a board. And there we go. Scrap, cut off the end. Oh, well and good. I will go ahead and cut these the same way I cut everything else with the circ saw. Okay, so I cut down, these are the pieces for the top. Obviously they're not joined yet. I'll have to join them. But what we're doing is we're looking for good grain, somewhat good grain match. And I think that's pretty good there. Okay. Do a triangle on it, reorient it. Okay. I went ahead and just rough cut out these. These are the blanks that are going to be for the aprons around the table. They're not cut to final length, but they're kind of roughed out, which will allow me to kind of sit back, take a breather, and work on something else. What I want to do, because this is all scroll work here, but I kind of need to create a template to make all 8 things. Now they're 8, 1, 2, 4 sides. So I want to make this template that has these things. So the best way to do that is I'm going to take what is on this plan and cut it out, this section here, and then go ahead and cut out the insides and trace it to a piece of, this is just Luan, that's what I have, and then this will become the template for where all that scroll work will be cut out of. So that's pretty much it. Okay. I'm very carefully just going to cut this square out here to the tabletop. Now too, I'm also debating on whether or not the diamond should stay this kind of diamond or if I should make it a leaf. So that's one of the things I'm going to kind of work on. So now that I have this diamond shape, I will cut out the inside, cut out this section, trace that, and work my way from there. So I will go ahead and now, so I throw knives across the room with an X-Acto knife. I will go ahead and start. So I drew out this piece, the arch, all the way to the end. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out on my scroll saw. So let me just go ahead and bring the scroll saw over. What I am doing is pulling the blade out. Okay, here's the blade, and there's pins on the end. So I'm just going to make sure to bit I choose. Go ahead and drill some through. This is my little saber saw. It is probably dates back to the 1940s, 1950s. It is passed down from my uncle, who is no longer with us. My Uncle Don. He gave it to me when I was about 14, and I will never part with it. I might replace it, get a new modern one, but I will never part with it. So I'm going to plug it in. It has no on and off switch. I might get like a router switch or something that I can at least have an on and off switch. But let's plug it in. Okay, forgot to clamp it down. It really needs to be clamped down. If I can find a clamp. Guess I can pull off one of these small ones now. Small clamp. Keep it from sliding around. So, I'm going to see about pulling this blade out. Okay, a couple things have happened. It's now the next day. Legs have glued up overnight, as well as I continue to do some work on this pattern here. And I'm not really 100% happy with the way it's coming out. There's a lot of chip out on the back. So I went to Lowe's, one of the went to Lowe's, and I picked up some plastic sheets. This is acrylic, and this is Lexan, which is a different type of plastic. They're 8x10s. Bought a couple if I don't use them, and then they'll become picture frames or something. So I think I'll try cutting out on those. Got my morning coffee. Okay. So let's see how these legs came out. Start pulling the clamps off. Not too bad. One of the things I want to do with these, wow, it's off a little, is go ahead and do the final dimensioning of these legs today, so I can start laying out the mortises. I'll clean up this pile of clamps and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was planning to spend all day out in the shop working on this project. It's October 10th, and Friday on my way home, my rear strut in my car completely failed, so I had to spend most of the day getting that up and running so I can go to work tomorrow. It took a little longer than I thought, so my father-in-law helped me, which was great. And so it's now 4 o'clock, and I have a lot of work to do. So I think there are 3 main things I want to kind of do today. Put together the tabletop, as well as I want to final surface all these legs. So I want to do that. And I want to do the template for the scroll work. as well as I'm hoping, even if it's a piece of scrap, to test out the ebonizing. So that's a lot to do today. That was originally my plans for the day. I don't know if I'm going to get there. So I do want to glue up the top today, I think. I think I'm going to wait on the top for now. If I get to do it, I can clamp it up and let it dry until I can come back out here, which probably won't be, if I'm lucky, tomorrow night, but most likely later. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dimension the legs. I'm going to go ahead and replane these down to final dimension. Which means I got to bring out the planer again, which is not too bad. I mean, the last project I didn't even have a planer, so I shouldn't complain. Set up the planer. Now, I've done some things over my first attempt to kind of make it more secure. I have this bar clamp to the front, which will keep it from sliding. I have a board that is cut out to the shape of this end that's put into place and clamped down. And I will hold it. And I have another clamp here that just keeps it, even though this piece back here will hold it from sliding this way any. So it's much sturdier down there. Now eventually I'll come up with those screws that'll do a much finer job over here. But until then, this is how we'll go about doing it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the planer. I'm going to feed it through and clean up the glue sides, as well as make this nice and there's a lip, so we're going to lose a little, but it'll be worth it. So that brought these two sides nice and flush. And we are square, except for I got to bring down the veneer face. To make it completely square, I would have to eliminate the veneer face. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to have to take a little on both sides. So one of the things I need to do is figure out what this veneer face has to be. And what I wanted to do is there's going to be a slight round over on these parts. And I want to kind of hide that veneer edge in the round over. So I will get out my router bits here, and I'm going to look, and there is an 1/8 round over. So I want this face, and it's 1/4 now. So I got to take 1/4 off the front and 1/4 off the back, bring me down to my final dimension. Nice, gentle passes. Okay, this leg now is perfectly square at a 1 7/8", which is fine by me. And then the veneer here, the veneer piece to cover the plain sawn edge, is exactly 1/8 thick. So when I do the round over, the transition will help hide that glue line. It probably won't even be noticeable. So not too bad. Now the leg is still long. We'll cut that down.